All
Now
right.
waking up.
Hey guys,
You're okay, right?
Hello,
Hey, have you
hello.
had coffee? Because it sounds like you need coffee.
you're both late. Why are we on Tuesday at the wrong time instead of
We're-
Thursday?
Look, we
Hmm.
agreed to a change to this day of the week, but I don't remember this time being adjusted. Okay, you're all like, podcast in an hour, and I'm like, crap, I was about to take about a 30-minute siesta.
Hmm.
Good talk.
Okay. Hello, anyway. Welcome back to the Minecraft Update podcast. It is episode 36, and from now on, until Slack changes his mind again, we will be putting the podcast out on a Wednesday morning instead of on a Friday morning, which means that we're going to miss all of the news that happens this week, which is absolutely fantastic. But, you know, let's get bogged down in whose fault it is that we've had to change everything again. And let's go into this week with Jessiie and see what Jessiie did when she went to Disneyland and didn't meet Jade.
Yeah. We went to Disneyland and it decided that it was going to be over 100 the whole day. And turns out little kids don't like the heat just about as much as we do. So we rode all of 2 rides and then went home.
Wow, I'm glad you've got
Yeah.
like them tickets that allow you to go whenever, because if you'd paid for that just for the day,
Yeah.
you'd have been,
Oh.
oh man, I'd have been angry.
No, they would have had to
You're
deal
going
with
on those rides whether you like it or not.
it. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, because obviously we do have the season passes. We were just like, no, okay. We went on the 2 rides that both the kids wanted to go on. Like, it got to the point where we were waiting in line for the Spider-Man ride. And for those of you who know anything about my son, he's obsessed. Like, obsessed with Spider-Man. He was like, no, I don't care. I don't want to go on the Spider-Man ride. I want to go home. And we were like, all right, that is the sign where it was enough. He could not handle it. So unfortunately, we did not get to meet Jade because she was busy on rides and stuff, and so it just didn't line up, which was unfortunate because how often is she going to be in my neck of the woods, you know?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but after I got home, I was like, all right, you know what? I just got off of this like streaming everyday thing. I'm still riding that high. I'm still loving it, but I'm going to try to record, right? I was like, I'm going to record something. I'm going to get a video done. I did about, I don't know, probably 50 clips. I hated everything.
Wow.
So I am in this weird limbo right now where I don't know what to do besides stream. Like, that's the only thing right now that is making me happy content-wise. So I'm testing out my new schedule where I am streaming 4 days a week, and I'm gonna see how I like that. If that's too little, if it's, you know, I kind of feel like I'm going to end up being a daily streamer at this point until the new season, just because, you know, I don't know what it is. I can't get past this weird video hump where I don't like it.
You know, I keep hearing people talking about a new season, all the way through Trudy Bedrock Stream Weekend. People are like, oh, we'll do this for the rest of this season. Do you guys know something I don't?
No? What are you talking about?
It's just right now, I don't know if you've seen my base. I am literally in the polishing stages. Like everything
come finish
with my
mine
base.
off instead. And there's
I
loads
mean-
to
Look,
do
I
with
offered to
mine.
come over there and build farms
Yeah,
in yours, and you didn't want
at
none.
this
No, I don't want a
point,
gas
if you
farm
want
in my
stuff.
base, thanks, Slack.
But legitimately, that's what it is. Like, I'm just making trees, I'm terraforming, I'm doing all of these things, but I have no desire for like anything big because it's like final stages for me.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay.
So as long as the season lasts, I'm happy, but there's nothing else big coming from me this season in regards to, you know, videos. It's just not going to happen.
Fair enough. Okay, Slack, what about you? Are you all tied up, wrapped up, ready for the new season as well?
That can go either which way. I was in that burnout there for the longest time, and then I tore apart half of my base and just decided that, you know, I'm going to make videos on whatever I want to make them on, and I'm going to go back old school. If that means recording a 10-minute clip of me talking while doing random things and talking about life, that's what I'm going to do. and I'm going to just start hammering out content again. And even today when I was editing the episode, I was like, some of this I don't like. Don't really care. I'm still putting it out, because if I don't put out content, my channel's not going to grow.
No, true.
So I recently was in a phase of where like I put out a video and YouTube would push it and I'd be like, yes, that's great. I love it. Let's do another one. And then I'll do another one and YouTube's like, yeah, let's just give you 500 views on this video and that's it. And I was like, man, what am I doing wrong? And then I don't know. It just clicked in my head. That's 500 views. That's 500 views. That's more than I had when I ever started. That's more than I'd ever planned. When I started doing content, it was before TB. And I would have been tickled to death if somebody told you, yeah, in a couple of years, one of your videos will get 500 views. So I've just kind of been recentering myself is the best way to put it. Doing Minecraft how I want to. Every episode doesn't have to be a 70-hour grind to put out one video. At least it's not going to be for me. It's not going to be for me. I'm just not going to do it. Sure, I may put out a video like that every now and again, but I'm not raising the bar to that standard. It's just beyond ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. I don't expect others to do that kind of bar, and I'm not going to do it myself. And then on top of that, I've started, literally today was the first episode, I've started doing different type of game content on my second channel. Ooh. And I've been just having a lot of fun recording that and doing that. And doing something way different from Minecraft has actually kind of given me inspiration in Minecraft once again.
Oh,
so it's
cool.
Finding a balance. Now, you were talking about, the videos. I've got videos coming out like every day of the week now. Monday through Saturday on one channel or the other, there's something.
Nice.
But I'm struggling to find time to stream. I'm struggling to find time to stream.
You've flipped 180 degrees.
Yeah. It's like, I get up in the morning, I work on the videos, I do my editing, I do my recording, and I get that all situated out, and I've got this up ahead, and this up ahead, and this planned, and by the time it comes time for me to stream in the afternoon, I'm just like, I just don't feel it. So I came to the conclusion actually this morning that I'm going to have to start setting 2 different days for myself. One's going to be a video day, and one's going to be a stream day. And on video days, I do nothing but video. That's it. And on stream days, I do nothing but stream. Whether I stream for 2 hours or whether I stream for 10 hours, it doesn't matter. I'm going to separate my days.
And what are you going to do with the rest of the your other 5 days of the week? Just sleep?
No, I've actually been getting less sleep right now. I don't know why, especially the different content. The different content's really got me motivated. I love it. It's and of course that channel's got nothing. It's only got like 100 subs. Okay. So it's I'm having to build something from scratch again. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, but it's like that risk reward, that challenge. Can you do it? Can I do something that's not Minecraft? That's not my normal style. That's not my normal niche. Can I make it successful? And it's exciting, terrifying, but exciting. So that's been what's going on with me. What about you, Foxy?
Well, I'm glad that's exciting for you. Yeah, for me, I've been trying really hard to stick to that schedule I made, and I'm achieving it to the most point. And I'm not struggling with it, which I thought I would. Although what you said a minute ago about, making Minecraft videos that are taking 70 hours to do, that's the thing that I'm now like, I have 6 hours a week to make a Minecraft video. What am I going to do in that video that I can make in 6 hours? So all of a sudden, all of the off-camera stuff, all of the pre-planning stuff, everything like that's gone. So anything I can do is either got to be in live streams or it's got to be on camera within that 6 hours. And I tell you what, that's a really fun challenge. It's hard because like this video I'm working on this week, I'm going to make a witch farm, and I spent 2.5 hours in a creative world with what should have been a witch farm that just decided it wasn't going to work on for whatever reason on our season. And I thought, oh, maybe they've changed something. Maybe something's broke. So I downloaded the Truly Bedrock Season 3 world, went to my witch farm, everything works there, great. Go back to Truly Bedrock Season 4, the witches won't spawn. So I'm like, oh my, so that's like eating up a big chunk of that. And I'm thinking, geez, how am we going to, and you just end up, recording more of the stuff that you would normally skip out, I think. And you end up with a video that's more of a journey than a, hey, I did this. So I'm quite enjoying it, to be honest with you. I've been streaming like crazy, which is good. We had Truly Bedrock stream weekend, and I think, was it Ricky organised it this month, or was it Groover again?
Yeah.
Ricky.
It was Ricky.
Yeah,
Ricky this time.
He put me on 2 days, which was good because I had a big old project to do. So, me not thinking about next season, me going, I'm going to start a whole new district in the middle of doing another massive project under the hill. So, that was a break from digging out under Chaos Hill, which was nice. And so, yeah, that's gone quite well over the last couple of streams. And then I've been doing loads of marketplace stuff. I finally got my build team back together again. We've been working on this map. We're getting it all sorted out. Today I've been making traffic cones.
Traffic cones?
Traffic cones. Yeah, that's yeah. Okay, so basically, the map that I'm making, I'm not going to give any details out on yet for anything, but there's a bit where it's a sort of a stealth zone. And in not the original Metal Gear Solids on the Game Boy and stuff like that, but the one on the PlayStation, Metal Gear Solid, where you go into a cardboard box and you can sneak around and no one can, the baddies can't see you. So it's basically that, but in a traffic cone. So you get a traffic cone, put it on your head, and then when you crouch, the traffic cone just places down on the ground and you're just totally invisible. So that's fun. That's been fun today. And that's it. That's my week in a nutshell. Ta-da! What's next? Feedback. Jeez. Right. Starting with Jess. Although I think it's a different Jess. Otherwise, Jess, why are you writing this book?
Yeah, definitely not me.
Jess says, hey guys, I'll start this off by saying I've been thoroughly enjoying the podcast. You guys are all fabulous and so entertaining, but a couple of years ago, my husband was watching Foxy videos, and each time I walked by, I said, what is that horrendous noise you keep playing? Wow. That voice, I just can't stand it. It needs to stop. He would sit there just giggling and loving every second, and I could not put my finger on why he would find that voice entertaining. Thanks, Jess. Oh, it goes on. It's okay. Don't worry, guys. In 2020, while we were stuck at home, I decided to try Minecraft for the first time. I had no clue what I was doing, so I began watching creators, and to my surprise, I started to find Foxy relevant. Took me some time, but I've come to really enjoy the voice that used to scratch my eardrums. I even find myself singing Looking for Pandas sometimes and wishing there was more Foxy original songs available. Thank you all for what you guys do. TB has been such a fun inspiration for us. We now run a family and friends server with a bunch of Foxy packs added and are having a blast. Keep doing what you love, Jess. P.S. I think you three complement each other perfectly, but if you ever had Tiz on the show, that would be great. Wow. Thanks, Jess. Appreciate it. I like it. Very constructive.
Do they make inner ear band-aids? Because my ear is bleeding.
Shutting up.
Oh,
Maybe I should get some soothers or lozenges or something before I stream
voice regulators.
Yeah, audio mod.
I love it.
I'll find a friend that's prepared to dub everything for me. Pigs. Have you got a few minutes? I've done another video.
Oh.
Wow. Thanks, guys. So
it's okay, Foxy. I like your voice. I think it's very soothing. Well, yeah,
wow, choked on that word yourself, didn't you?
I did a little bit. I did.
It's very soothing.
Very, yeah.
Wow. I think we should move on.
You.
Just saying.
Oh my goodness. The Real Dill Pick says, hello team. In addition to having a patron for the podcast, you could have sponsors. Then you could just read an ad in the middle of the podcast. Sponsors like HelloFresh, Foxy.
No, don't read anymore.
Yep,
right?
Yep, okay.
Pickles wrote us an entire ad segment for HelloFresh. I don't know if Pickles works for HelloFresh or what. I would think he just thought it would be funny if we read that on the podcast for no reason. But we're not going to, Pickles, because it's stupid. However, the idea of having sponsors is a nice idea, but, how do you go around just getting a sponsor?
I don't know.
Jessiie, you need to make some phone calls, make it happen.
I guess so. I need to reach out.
Yeah, HelloFresh. Get on it.
I mean, I really like HelloFresh, so I could maybe.
Oh, geez, we're doing it anyway.
What?
Can I call M&M's or I mean, my dog's like pedigree. Can I call
There you
them?
go.
Yeah,
I like
that's
Pepsi.
something totally irrelevant to Minecraft. We'll do dog food, shampoo, and ladies' toiletries. Perfect. Right, moving on, Slack.
All right, Keen Anteater here. A very different but thoroughly enjoyable podcast again. Thanks all, especially to Deep Gravelly Jessiie for producing it.
Yeah. That was an interesting podcast. My voice was trashed. How did you guys let me record?
Do you know what? Unless someone's mentioned it in the feedback I haven't read, and I've pretty much read through it all, putting it in, I don't think anyone's mentioned the quiz. I was like, oh, if you like this quiz, let us know. And no one's mentioned me trying to get dodge rolling in the wish list again. So I think
There it is. There's the plug for dodge rolling today. There it is.
Knew it.
We're sponsored this week by Dodge Rolling.
Can't dodge it, ram it. What?
Yeah. Wow. I really enjoyed last week's podcast. I thought the quiz was really good fun. So it sucks that no one else does, but we'll probably do it again.
Last week we had a podcast.
Balrog went into it and was like trying to figure out like how to get it done. He was like, okay, I have it all figured out. I just need actual questions. And no one gave him questions, brilliant. I don't think.
Perfect.
Yeah. But nice. He tried, so.
Well, Dragoon, not Mr. Balrog, says, hi, podcast crew. Jeez, why am I even here? I can't speak. My voice is horrible. You've mentioned Minecraft 2 a couple of times now, and I'm actually a big fan of having it. It would make sense to clothe both Java and Bedrock and combine into Minecraft 2. Keep the game much the same, but a fresh start for the code. Really focus on a clean start for performance, multi-thread, and any core architecture issues. Roll the inventory overhaul in and add more control to mob caps and performance options so you can tailor server performance. Having worked with developers, they always have ideas that they wish they could have done, but it's too late for. I feel it would be a sensible way to drop Java but offer something to everyone. I've got two thoughts on that. One is that's pretty much what Bedrock Edition was supposed to be. Yep. And two, it's not Minecraft 2 then, is it? It's just Minecraft all over again. So,
I mean,
yeah.
They tried Minecraft 2, Minecraft Bedrock, and now Minecraft Bedrock is now just Minecraft.
Yeah, it just, it feels like an odd cycle to go through every few years. I mean, for the benefit of Microsoft, it means everyone's got to buy Minecraft again because we've conveniently got rid of the other ones. And now
just delete that because they hear that they may go with this idea, and then they'd be like, "We'll release it on the PC first, and then we'll release it on the phone, and then we'll release it on your iPad, and then we'll release it on your watch." And
I mean, it's a great idea, but you could say that about literally any software that exists. Windows, Apple, everything. It's all built on old code, and they've got to keep it fresh.
Even say that about seasons of Minecraft. I mean, when a season needs to be, we could just start all over and build fresh, right?
Something like that.
It doesn't cost us anything, does it, to do that? We don't need, years of planning and development in order to create a new world for us. We just press, I want a new world, please.
Yeah, and suddenly all of our lag problems are gone until somebody builds an iron farm at spawn.
Moving on to Coalbuster.
Coalbuster says, hi, team. In episode 34, the potential near ending of Java Edition was discussed, with Slack pointing out that the language may be dying. If anything is certain, it is that Java programming language is alive and well, still being the second, if not first, most popular language according to multiple listings. That being said, Java is mostly used for servers and not so much for games. So indeed, for MC, the C++ language of Bedrock Edition has more potential / performance room. In my opinion, Java Edition won't be even announced to be shut down before 100% parity, most notably the Redstone area. I think absolutely saying like Java is dying, JavaScript is dying was not true. They use Java in lots of things. However, I don't know. I don't think that they're going to try to get 100% parity before Java Edition goes the way of the dodo, you know?
It's not possible to do. It's just not possible to do.
It's literally not possible.
Unless they do what Dragoon says and make Minecraft 2 and start all over again. It just doesn't have the engine for it, and it'd be such a massive overhaul of the code, it would be impossible. So they're going to have to just get as close as possible to what they think's reasonable enough to say, yeah, no, this is it now. This is it now, guys. This is the version of Minecraft. We're happy with it. Everybody playing it seems to be happy with it. If you don't like it because you're an ex-Java Edition player and it's slightly different, tough.
Yeah, it's just, sorry, I'm going to chime. It's not going to happen. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. You know, the people who believe that there will be one day, there will be a magical union of 100% parity. What would be the point of having two versions of the game then?
Nothing. It would just be to get rid of Java.
The only way they could achieve even close to that is by doing what they're already doing, which is just spamming in loads and loads and loads of parity updates in the minor updates for where they can, and even doing what they've done over the last couple of years and change Java Edition to match Bedrock Edition. They've added a few things that Bedrock's got over to Java Edition because going the other way just wouldn't work. So, yeah, we might have two games that are very, very similar, more similar than they are now, but they're never going to be identical.
No.
So
they'll be brothers or whatever, but they won't be the same person.
Yeah. Okay.
Tron over here. Just finished the last episode, 100% be behind a Patreon rollout.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yep.
I need it, please. Yep.
Buy my merch at FoxyNoTail.com, right?
Yeah. Buy my Minecraft Update podcast merch. Come
Unofficial.
into a
Unofficial.
store near Unofficial. We just have T-shirts with Unofficial written on them. No, we don't need the Minecraft Update podcast logo. Just Unofficial.
Yeah, Unofficial.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'd wear that. I would wear a T-shirt with Unofficial written on it.
I would too. I'm not even lying.
Yeah. Can we really seriously design this? I really like this.
I bet it exists already. But no way. No one's
It doesn't matter.
Already.
We can do our own.
I'm looking it up right now. But yeah. I want.
Do you play on TV unofficially? I mean, are you a YouTuber unofficially? Do you do this? Are you a Twitch streamer unofficially?
Unofficially.
Moving on from unofficially, Greybeard officially asked us, I just want to say I love your podcast every single week. You three always brighten my Friday mornings. Not anymore, Greybeard. With a smile, some interesting insights and a lot of laughter. The gravelly voices, dolphin squeaks and dog barks are sweet music to my ears. Now, I'm going to assume Greybeard is talking about Toretto there and not me when he's talking about dog barks. You know I've got a horrible voice. It's grating on everybody, but I mean, I wouldn't call it a dog bark. Jeez. You guys are mean.
I mean, you were mean to yourself there. I think definitely they were talking about Toretto. Derusa says, hey team, first of all, just wanted to say again that you are awesome and make such a fun and entertaining podcast. However, actually, that's all I was going to say. Keep up the good work.
You're going to do it. Go do it. Actually, FoxyNoTail.
Wow, jeez. Okay.
Actually.
Lucas
M says you should have the podcast. You should have a podcast editing competition, but then that would take too long to take a long time going through all the submissions.
Yeah, there's a couple of problems here, Lucas. The first one, as you've spelt out, yes, if we had a podcast editing competition, we've then got to sit through 2 hours for each submission's worth of listening to see over the same content to see which one was best. The other thing is, nobody's coming forward to say they would like to try. So, you know, we wouldn't have any submissions to go through.
See, you did it now. Sometime this week, you're going to get about 70 emails, and I'm going to see copies of them from some random podcast company that wants to edit your podcast now. Just saying.
No, it's not allowed. Not allowed. Banned. What about you, Jessie? Do you want to edit the podcast? You said you've got nothing to do now. You're bored of Minecraft.
No. No chance.
Well.
0 chances.
I mean, it might inspire you to do some Minecrafty editing then, get your editing software out.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you for volunteering, Jessiie.
Oops, my editing software has been deleted. I don't know what happened.
I
my
don't
bad.
know, on
you
hard
another
drive
copy,
space. Yeah.
Yeah, I ran out of space on my computer. My bad. Darn.
DLL is missing. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Right. Okay. Well, apparently that's enough of the feedback then, which brings us on to this week's news. However, before we get there, I just want to remind you, if you would like to leave us feedback, you can do by emailing news@theminecraftupdate.com. I nearly got it all out.
That's a very good try you did there. Yeah.
Yeah, put feedback in your subject line so we know it's feedback, or fill out the form on the website, which is theminecraftupdate.com, or come to the Discord. The link is in the description, and leave it in there. Right, now the news, and we actually have a little bit of news this week, which is quite unusual. We've had the Minecraft Bedrock preview 1.19.40.20, which was released this week, which means 1.19.30 is winging its way to us very, very soon. Although I'm not overly bothered about it because there's nothing in it. However, 1.19.40 does have a few things in it. First of all, starting with touch controls, there's been a bit of an update and overhaul to touch controls. They actually put out some feedback not long ago. They gave us a link where you could go to a survey and you could give your opinion on touch controls and answer some questions. However, when I went to click on the link to answer the questions, the first question was, do you mind us, having your data and sending this on to a third party? And I said I didn't want that. And it said, okay, thank you for your for your responses, and wouldn't let me fill it in again. So I've had no say on the touch controls, but apparently it's going to be good. However, if you look at the picture on the news article that will be linked in the description below, I don't think I would want to play on that screen, because although you've got a nice square thumbstick for moving around and the buttons on the right-hand side seem nice and, big enough for your fingers, look how tiny the hotbar is and how tiny the buttons are at the top.
Yeah.
You're going to need a pin to press those buttons.
I'll tell you what I do like about that image, though, is the fact that there's a separate attack button.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So there are some major improvements to that, and they are looking good. But I think whoever's took that picture's obviously got the UI scale on so low that they must have the world's pointiest fingers or incredibly long fingernails to actually use it, because, it just looks impossible to me. Anyway.
So I'm guessing the up is to jump up, the down's to jump down.
Well, you got crouch and up. I imagine if you double tap up, you're going to start flying if you're in creative. The crosshair will be to... I don't know. Oh, that'll be looking where you're looking, I guess.
I guess attack where you're looking. Because what I find weird is there's an attack. There's an attack and there's a normal cursor.
It will probably explain it if we looked into it, but I'm not going to, because it's touch controls and I hate them. Right, moving on. We've got vanilla parenting. Spectators no longer drop XP ups when killed, which is good, and they will no longer reset their player level when killed. Getting killed by a renamed weapon, though, will now produce a death message with the item name. So if you rename your sword to, I don't know, Slack's Sword of Many Death, and you killed Jessiie with it, it would say Jessiie was killed by Slack's Sword of Many Death, or by Slack using, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, so that's cool. That's been in Java Edition for forever, and now it's in Bedrock Edition, or it will be very soon. The other update that I don't think any of us have even really noticed was that they have actually fixed the bug, which I didn't know was a bug, where the roof forest, the savanna, mutated and birch forest biomes had the wrong grass colour. They weren't being tinted by the biome colour. So apparently, like in the roof forest now, the grass is going to be loads darker, which I'm looking forward to seeing, because that will be a little bit more immersive.
So hold on. I noticed recently when playing in Java that the grass was so much darker in roofed forests. And I thought it was a bug on Java's part because I was so used to the grass in Bedrock. I don't like the dark grass.
No, it's not very nice to look at. And the savanna grass is awful as well, but at least it's going to match the rest of it. And the idea, I think, in the roof forest is supposed to be shadowy, isn't it? So it's supposed to... Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. it's so
I don't
funny
like
that
it,
I
yeah.
had just noticed that like the other day. And that's why. Interesting.
Wouldn't it be great if you could, when you silk touch that grass, you've got the grass of that colour?
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. I would love that so much.
Okay, hold that thought. I'm going to bring that back up in the wish list section because I haven't done one this week. Okay. Moving on, in the same beta or / preview update, we have the fact that mobs will no longer spawn within the bounds of an ancient city. This is excellent news. This is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the thing
is
that's
this a real thing, finally?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I saw it in Silence video the other day, and he was there, and no mobs were spawning, which was great. However, one thing that I thought was a bit odd is they've said that mobs can still spawn in skulk biomes. So not the ancient cities, but like if you've got skulk stuff going on in your underground caves, mobs can spawn there, and I don't think they should.
What's the thought process there? Why don't you think it should?
Because you've still got shriekers and sensors there. So the idea is you can still technically spawn the warden in. I don't think that mobs should be there as well. I just don't. I think they should be totally rid of mobs if that's the biome that they're in, because you're effectively... Yeah, I don't know. For me, I think if you've got an area where the warden spawns, there shouldn't be any mob spawning. It's just my rules. Okay?
Fair.
Any thoughts on that, Slack?
No, just mob spawning. I think it's funny how they were like, yeah, you can't do that on Bedrock, and then they did it. Kind of like somewhere between .10 and .20, they did an update on mob despawning where mobs no longer instant spawn and despawn, but it's not in none of the changelogs.
You very much confused me there. But what has
go on. The old spawn radius, 64, but it's technically down to 44 now, but mobs could still spawn out there, and then they would spawn and instantly despawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't do that now.
No, that was in the changelog. We've read that out on the podcast. Sure we have. I couldn't tell you which one. You'll have to listen to them all, Slack, and figure it out.
Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
Okay.
Maybe it was a week I was sick or something.
Maybe.
The more good news is that, when you're growing a huge fungus and it grows through whatever you've tried to grow it underneath by accident, and it goes through all your redstone, it won't do that anymore, which is great. However, it still will grow. It will just skip out the blocks that's in the way. So, like, you still can't put something above it and prevent it from growing, which I find really bizarre.
It's very weird. So I don't even know what to say about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, the good thing is there is obviously for making farms, like if you wanted to farm it, that's great because it's not going to eat all of your redstone. But if you've got a block over the top of one and you're trying to bone meal it, surely it should work like a sapling and just not grow.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Yeah. So I think they've still got a little bit of work to do on that one. If that's how they intend it to work, then that's just weird. Because again, watching Silence video, he had like a pile of chests and hoppers and glass and stuff, and he grew a huge mushroom the block below, and there was just like one piece of stem, all the things that were still there, and then the stem above them all, and then the top of it, and it just looks so weird. So yeah, that's got to be a bug. It's got to be. Anyway,
yeah, that doesn't seem right.
Where are we up to? Iron golems. How they give red flowers to baby villagers? Well, until now, the baby villagers have just been totally ignoring them. But now, finally, they have implemented the fix, or just the mechanic, so the baby villagers can actually take them off the iron golems, which is nice. And they have fixed something which I'm going to find particularly useful in my marketplace map, which is teleportation no longer flies an entity to its new location. So, have you ever... when you teleport something or a player or something and it sort of scoots over and it animates across? Well, it shouldn't. It should just go from one place to the next place instantly, and it will now do that. So, that's great because it's weird, isn't it, if you've got something that should disappear from one place and reappear somewhere else. And it's like if you have a protected command block room, and for some reason there's one thing that teleports somebody from one side to the other, but it's supposed to like throw them in a jail if anybody's caught in there, but it would teleport them through it instead. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah, so I'm really glad about that, but I don't know how that's going to affect things like my camera add-on, because obviously that involves around the smoothness that you get from flying. So that might be a bit more erratic now, so I'll have to check that when this update gets a little bit close to coming out. And then the only other thing that I've picked up from this list, there are loads of things in it, but the only thing I was particularly excited about was that there's a new command that's been implemented as part of the execute command, which is execute rotated or execute rotated as. And I thought, well, what can that mean? How does that possibly work? And it's quite interesting, actually. I looked it up on the wiki, and the explanation it said was, let's say you've got a player and it's surrounded by entities or sheep in this particular instance. If you ran the command the correct way, I guess, you could get the sheep to teleport like one block in the direction that player is facing rather than the way the sheep is facing. So you can get everything, or the thing that you're aiming at, the thing that you're trying to run the command on, to travel in the direction or work in the direction of something else is facing, which I thought was a really, really cool thing. And I can already imagine a lot of uses for that, and a lot of fun games I could make with that. So, yeah, quite exciting for little old me, that one. And that's about it, really. There's, like I say, there's a whole bunch of things in that changelog. I'm not going to read them all out. If you would like to read them all out, the changelog will be listed in the description below. So, go ham. And unless you guys have got anything you want to ask about that, we'll move on to the next news piece.
Next news, please.
Okay, the next news is that we got a Minecraft live trailer, which I thought was actually really good. It had lots of dancing frogs. There was a nice Easter egg in there where one of the frogs ate a goat. And it was just lovely, and it announced the date for Minecraft Live, which I believe is the 16th of October, if I'm right. Is that right, or is it wrong? Is it the 15th or the 16th?
I thought 15th, but I could be very wrong.
Yeah, I think it might be the 15th, actually. But whatever date it is, we'll find out. Jesse, find out quick while we're doing this. The day before, they're having a mob vote, again, another mob vote. And the mob vote is going to take place in Bedrock Edition. And I believe you can also vote on the Java launcher as well, and through another method. So it's not just in the game on Bedrock Edition. But I don't know anything about that. I'm totally talking from hearsay. But that should be interesting that it's not on Twitter this time.
It's the 15th at noon.
Okay, it's 15th. So...
Yep.
That will be different from every other year we've had them, because when we've had mob votes before, we have several rounds, don't we? We got here are the mobs, which one do you want? And then you get the next two in the next round, and then you go through it, and it's a process of elimination. Whereas if they're doing all the voting the day before, there'll just be a winner. There'll be no rounds on that one. So, yeah, that's interesting. And we're talking about this
really
on
interesting.
Truly Bedrock Stream Weekend, and we were talking about, is it just going to be another 3 mobs, do you think? Do you think they'll add more in? Do you think they'll bring any mobs back that we liked, like the Moo Bloom from previous ones that didn't get a chance? What do you think?
I want the Blaze King.
They put it in dungeons, mate. It's too late.
But I don't care about dungeons. No, not interested.
I would like to think that it might be a mob vote that brings some back, just because I think it has been suggested quite a bit. And I think that would be interesting. But I think it all depends on whatever this new update is, whatever they're about to announce. If it's a low key update, not a lot, I figure maybe they'll add, or the vote will be between old ones. But if it's something completely new, we're getting new mobs. That's my thinking.
Yeah, it would be really strange for them to introduce old ones on their own and no new ones. But I just wonder if there's going to be, are they going to keep it simple and be like, oh, we're just going to do 3 mobs again, or are they going to make a big song and dance about it and just have a few in there and just really gauge what people are thinking? So I don't know. I like the fact that it's not on Twitter, though, because that means that you can't get any people paying for millions of Twitter bots to vote one way or another. So it should be more fair, although it will still come down to whichever, YouTuber or streamer decides is the right way to go, and all of their followers follow them. So we will see. Did either of you catch the trailer?
No, I haven't actually.
No,
I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Wow. I genuinely, I really enjoyed it. I thought the music was great. I thought it was a really fun little animation. I didn't watch it more than once. I only watched it once, but I was looking for Easter eggs, anything interesting, anything that might be unusual, like a clue to what might be in the next update. And it didn't seem like there was, and no one else is shouting out about anything. And again, talking about this on the stream weekend, I can only assume the reason for that is with Mojang stating now that the stuff they're going to be showing, they're only going to be showing stuff that's had a lot of development on it already, basically because they don't want to upset anybody by not putting things in again. They're going to be really cautious as to what they're actually showing us, and they would have obviously had to have... what's the word? When you pay other people, an external company, to make the video, they would have had to do that.
Outsource it?
Yeah, no, it's not the word I'm looking for. I'm having a bad brain day.
Oh, no.
But yeah, that they'd have had to do that months and months ago in order to get it all ready for what you know for now and in the polished and way that it is. So. And I'm sure it went through a few iterations. So at that point, they probably weren't convinced or comfortable enough with any of the new stuff to even consider throwing anything in. So, yeah, we will see. One thing that I have seen, though, and this is the last piece of news, it's not really news, it's more of just a bit of speculation, was a company the day after that trailer went out, an ice cream company tweeted out to Minecraft to say, we've partnered with Minecraft for all of these different ice creams, and it had these pictures of pixelated ice creams, and a couple of the Minecraft devs retweeted it with just saying ice cream. So I was wondering, now that we got powdered snow, and obviously you can get milk from cows, are we going to be getting ice cream recipes? Or would it be like a cauldron that you fill with milk and leave on a mountaintop and it freezes and forms ice cream? And you can put flavours in it.
I think maybe that would be a bit extra, but I've seen people bringing up ice cream, and I think maybe it's like a hint at a food update. Like, I want more food. Maybe that's what they're doing.
I don't want a more food update. We got too much food as it is. No, we don't need any more food.
No, don't need more food.
I want
you know
a
what? That
sandwich
thought went
station.
through my head before we started this podcast. Oh, I hope it's not going to be a food update.
Watch.
No.
They're not going to give me the one thing I want. Instead, they're going to throw food at me and be like, you're a foodie. Enjoy it. And I'm going to be like, I hate you.
If they were like, okay, we're going to do flavored different, you can have different flavors of cakes. You can have chocolate cake. You can have this, that, and the other. And in order to do that, they maybe had to put bananas in the game and vanilla in the game. Maybe. Yeah, okay, I can go with that. And that's the same thing for ice cream. But if they just go over, like, we've just got a whole bunch of new foods and food types and recipes and all that, no.
The only way I would be behind a food update is if they did the idea of us allowing to put potions with our food, you know?
Oh, yeah, like you said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that would be cool, but that's never going to happen.
I don't want to do cooking in Minecraft. Golden carrots is fine. I don't want to make pad chow or whatever it's called, pad thai.
Pad thai.
That's the one that's in all the games, isn't it? Pad thai is always the best food in every game you play. Jeez. Wow. No, thank you. No. I'll take the ice cream, but I don't want anything else. Speaking of things we don't want in the games, guys, it's Bugdate time. Jessie, I noticed you've got a bug.
I do. I have, well, it's a bug question mark, because I don't actually know if it's a bug or if it is related to ping or something else, but I have been having issues with double placing, specifically with torches for some random reason. Like, it's about like every 5 torches or so. Like, I'll go to click and it just double clicks torches and I'm like, what happened there? I didn't do anything. Or I will be building with a block and then all of a sudden there's 2 there, or I go to put a block somewhere else and it goes somewhere else. I'm like, what is going on? All of a sudden, I would say the past like probably 2 weeks, I have had this consistently. No idea why.
I've had that forever. Not
Have
as regularly
you?
as you. I think it's, you know, when you do the cheaty run and break blocks and you don't need a beacon to do it, like I used on my concrete farm. I think it's the same thing. If you've gone into sprint at the same time as you place a block, you end up placing 2. And I do that quite regularly when I'm placing torches. If I'm, going in a line to break torches, quite often the first one I place, or maybe one down the middle of the line, will just place 2 for some random reason. It could be ping if you're getting it more regularly. But yeah, that is annoying.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
And I wonder if that ties in with the issue I was having on stream weekend with stone. I don't know if you noticed, but I was filling that area full of stone. And quite often I go to place them in a line and they just end up towering up behind me in a vertical pile. I'm like, How? How is this possible? And that was just thoroughly irritating. So it could be the same thing. Who knows? Slack, any experience on either of those?
The stone placing one, I experienced that actually quite a bit today with what I was doing for my video. Double placement of torches, I've had that one happen so many times it's not funny, but other than that, no, not really.
Oh, fair enough. My bug then, other apart from the stone placing one, is that I had 2 allays. Jessie, you actually came and helped me. I had 1 allay and you helped me breed one the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And they were both in my little underground area under Chaos Hill, tied up on leads because they're absolutely useless and they get in the way when you're trying to mine stuff and they throw stuff at you when you've got a full inventory. So I had them tied up. And they were tied up for, I would say, a couple of weeks with no issues. And then all of a sudden, I went in there, and they weren't tied up anymore. The leads were on the floor, and they were just floating about. Now, one of them, I could put back on the lead, but I couldn't take it anywhere. It would just fly away, and the lead would break. And the other one would not let me put it on the lead at all. I took the blocks off them and tried to give them leads, and then they just hold the lead. So I gave them different blocks, and then they still pick up blocks. But now they've both flown out of Chaos Hill. One's actually flown almost all the way over to the Not-So-Humble Hills area I've been working on, and the other one's just gone. No idea where. But apparently, because that was in the video I put out last week, a lot of people have had similar bugs with the allays, so it's a relatively common one. Have either of you had that?
I still haven't got one.
I haven't had it personally, but yesterday, I think, I was watching one of Ricky's streams, and his did that. After he put it on, like, what the heck is it called? The lead. And he put it on the wall, and then he just watched as it just kept going and the lead would snap off. And he was like, what happened? And we watched this multiple times, and it would not stay on the lead no matter what he did. So it's not just you.
Yeah.
Didn't Jessiie have that on her stream on Stream Day too?
I think so too.
Yeah, I think so.
It's weird, though, because we've not updated or anything like that. So why all of a sudden would they just decide I'm not going to be able to be on the lead? What's changed in their entity behaviors when they've just been floating around being tied up? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer to that.
No, it's totally bizarre. Speaking of bizarre entity issues, Jammy Toaster has a bug for us. They say, hey, Foxy, Jessie, and Slack, hide your villagers, hide your pets. Jeff has fiddled with the entities and they're now again despawning along chunk borders. Never stopped, Jammy. My friend found this while in the nether with his allay. He died in an enclosed area with his allay, and when he came back, the allay was gone. Here is the bug tracker ID. Yeah, they've never stopped despawning on chunk borders. And interestingly enough, again, working on this Minecraft Marketplace map, because I am a Minecraft partner and it, thoroughly irritates everybody that's not that I do have access to the developer version of the game, which... Don't tell anyone, right? The pathfinding in that has been particularly useful for this, what I'm building. And it shows you the path that the mobs take. And they don't walk in the middle of a block. They walk along the line between 2 blocks. That's how they pathfind. So they're always walking half on one block and half on another. Which means if they are walking perfectly between 2 blocks, the chances are, if they're near a chunk border, they're going to be walking exactly on the chunk border. And they're going to despawn, aren't they? Because when you log out and they're on that chunk border, or you go too far away, they're gone. So yeah, maybe if they changed pathfinding so that you walked along the middle of a block, that would probably be a bit better than along the edge of a block. Personally, I think
that would make sense.
Yeah.
Then I'm curious too, because I haven't messed with the allays. Could it have flown into lava?
Which one?
The allays, the one that they were just talking about with the nether. I'm just curious. Well, if you take them through the nether, will they fly into lava and burn?
Oh, yeah. They're totally stupid. And campfires. Yeah. They do try not to, but they bounce up and down as they're flying. They sort of hover and float, so they will always fly like... I don't know. I had that in when I was doing my update videos, just flying through campfires and into lava. So yeah, it's quite the possibility. Yeah.
Dum. Yeah, they're not the most brilliant of creatures for sure.
No. Nice idea, but as usual, when we get something new on Bedrock Edition, it'll probably be at least 4 or 5 updates before they're anywhere near usable. Right, so that's the end of the things we don't want in the game. Moving on to the wish list for the things we do want in the game, and you two have both got things that you want in the game, and I haven't. Well, I kind of have now, because we mentioned it earlier, although I've already forgotten what that was. So, Jessiie B, what do you want in Minecraft?
So I think we've mentioned this exact thing before. However, I have an addendum, right?
Okay.
I want jellyfish in the game because I really want a paralysis potion. I want a paralysis effect or like paralysis arrows because I think it would be so much fun. Like to put in mini games, to do any sort of like random thing with it. I just think that paralysis would be great. And since jellyfish sting you, it makes sense to me. So yeah,
don't we kind of have that with that, like the one from the Turtles? What's it called? Turtle Master.
Turtle Master. Not really. It's not the same sort of thing.
She's like, I didn't think about that. Let's not talk about that.
No, because that just slows you down. Like I don't want something to slow. Like I want you to not be able to move. Like I want you to be paralyzed.
Did you know that jellyfish request you've done? That's the one I did on my how to make add-ons live stream. We actually made those jellyfish in stream. Yeah, so I've got those available on the website. Although there's an error in the manifest file, so you have to edit that. But they do work, but they don't give you paralysis. They just poison you.
Yes, I want to stop you.
What do you think, Slack? Do we have paralysis potion and arrows of paralysis and jellyfish in the good ideas bin, or are we going to boycott this one?
What's your opinion on this one, Foxy?
I don't want another useless flopping about entity in the water. No. I want. In fact, I've got my idea for a wish list actually because I've been talking about it all week. I think a paralysis potion could be good. And again, thinking about from Marketplace Maps point of view, being able to just hold the player in place without giving them like slowness 150 would be nice. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that personally, just not with the jellyfish.
You're like, give it to me without needing a mob.
Yeah. Didn't we have a rework bin?
Yes, I think we did.
No, we had a fun bin. We had the fun bin. We've not got a rework bin. We've got the good ideas bin, which we basically will take anyone else's ideas, make it our own, and put our good ideas in the good ideas bin. The bad ideas bin, and we've got the fun ideas bin.
No, I don't want another mob, so I'm going to say no.
If they take out the glow squid and replace it with a jellyfish that gives paralysis potions, I'll be happy with that.
Okay.
Then anytime somebody gets paralyzed, it'll cause more lag than the glow ink. Yeah, sounds good.
But the only way you can get the paralysis potion is like getting dragon's breath. You've got to have them special bottles, and you've got to go behind it, make it spit it out, and try and get it without getting paralyzed yourself.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Look, all right. I'm gonna say no to the mob unless we could get my wish list item for the week. Yeah. If we could get mine, mine makes it important. Okay. Mine's an adjustable mob cap.
Okay.
Be nice if we could adjust the mob cap per player and globally. Both of those would be nice. Because right now our global mob cap is 200, and we don't really have no mob cap per player aside from density checks. And density checks I don't like density checks. They're the way they're performed. Just give us an adjustable. Just give us an adjustable density check then. You know what I mean? Let me double that up, triple that up.
Yeah, all we need is 2 more sliders in the settings menu. One is how far away I can see entities, and the other one is how many entities will spawn. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than like the simulation distance slider or the render distance slider. I'm up for that. I'm well into that. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Yep.
I agree.
So, all right. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we put in both of those ideas in the good ideas bin then. Woo! So my idea was, and it's quite long-winded and I can hardly remember it because I'm having a bad brain day, so just bear with me. But it was basically, as much as I keep rallying against world generation changes, I want them. Someone asked me in my live stream, if you could do anything with the dolphin apart from get rid of it, what would you do? And I thought, do you know what I'd really like to do with the dolphin or another underwater mob? Would be able to put a saddle on it, have increased quantity of air, and just have incredibly deep oceans with actual interesting things at the bottom of them that you could explore, like you get in the real world. So basically my request is deep oceans, not everywhere. I don't want to just like dig into oceans all the time where it's supposed to be land, but in the actual deep ocean biomes, much deeper, with something actually interesting down there, some sort of treasure to go to, some underwater Atlantis-y thing that we've had before, and be able to ride a dolphin or a different underwater mob that you can put a saddle on, you can share its oxygen with it so you can go underwater for longer and actually explore underwater almost like you was on a submarine. And faster travel in the water as well. You know, we've got swimming now. We've got horses you can fast travel on land. We've got no fast travel system on water except for boats, which, well, are annoying when you're trying to go underwater.
Yeah, they're designed to float, not sink. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
not ever so good submarines, these boats. What do you think, guys? Jessie, your thoughts?
I'm as much as I really hate like the ocean, I think I would like that. I think I would be really on board with like random deep oceans that you could just explore. And yeah, I'm okay with that.
And some sort of incredible creature at the bottom as well, you know.
Like a kraken?
Kraken, yeah, something down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be dark down there. You'd probably come across them fish with the big teeth and the little lights above the head. Anglerfish, I think they're called.
Anglerfish, yeah.
You needed some sort of underwater torch that you'd have to craft so that you could see. You just shove that in the dolphin's blowhole, you know, for convenience. And I reckon that'd be great. I think that'd be really exciting.
I see the aquatic update I wanted, not the one I got.
And then you can have your jellyfish down there with your paralysis, so that, you know, your oxygen is slowly running out, but all of a sudden you and your dolphin are paralyzed and you're thinking, am I going to be unparalyzed before I get to the surface?
Yes,
sounds good.
please.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, done.
Slag, are you yesing on that, considering it's all new mobs and...
Yeah, but everything that's going in the good idea bin today is also going to tie into that. So
I was just going to say they all tie together. Yeah,
there was a catch.
Fantastic, brilliant. Okay, all three of our amazing ideas in the good ideas bin as usual. Tyler, on the other hand, may not have their idea in the good ideas bin.
Hold on. Hold on.
I had an idea of my own, he said, which obviously means that's quite an unusual occurrence for Tyler. I'm not sure if it's on the feedback website. The idea is versatile beacons. What this would look like is based on what blocks you make the beacon pyramid out of. It would provide different effects added onto the ones already there, or more powerful effects, or both. For example, let's say I made a level 4 beacon with iron blocks, and I could pick from the standard 6 effects. If I made a level 4 beacon with diamond blocks, I could pick 3 effects, and maybe the effects could have a level 2 application to start with. Just an idea. We'll make an entry on the feedback website when I can and send the link. I'm up for the different, you know, the more expensive the block you use, i.e. iron, copper, emerald, diamond, netherite, having a stronger beacon effect or even a wider beacon effect, because beacon effect the range is rubbish. Let's be honest.
Wider would be great.
But I don't necessarily think it should give you more effects, because that sort of devalues the beacon itself. So yes and no for me on that one. Jessie?
I think you nailed it there. I would really like to see it widen, like the range. So like if you use more valuable blocks, you have a wider range. Like netherite, you would have like an insane reach. Diamond would be, you know, decent. I think that would be really, really neat and give that kind of variation and just make the game a little more fun. So I would be really on board with that. I agree. I wouldn't want more effects though.
Yeah, it gives you an actual reason to build a netherite beacon then, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Slack? What do you think?
Yeah, and then if you could tie in the echo shards as well. Yeah.
No.
Want to give them a use?
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay, Tyler, half of it's going in the good ideas bin, but only the half we came up with, okay? Good. Excellent.
Yeah, exactly. So Merrick says, I know a lot of people will dislike this idea, but hear me out. Gold equipment from various loot tables like ruined portals would be much more exciting if we could upgrade gold equipment to netherite. My thought is that it would take 8 netherite scrap, the gold items surrounded by netherite scrap in the crafting table, to upgrade from gold to netherite. So the trade-off going from gold to netherite versus diamond to netherite is that it would take twice as much ancient debris. I am so sorry, Merrick. I hate that idea. Ugh, I'm not a fan of more useless gold anywhere. I don't know. That's just, I don't like it. I don't even have a good reason. I just don't like it.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
yeah, I know. Weird. Strong feelings came out there.
I don't agree with Jessiie B. I think everything that's related to stuff you wear or shulker boxes should be able to have netherite on it. But instead of having actual netherite armor and netherite tools, it's whatever that item is with some sort of glint, almost like it's enchanted, so that it just doesn't burn in lava. I don't care if it lasts any longer or the durability is increased or if it offers more protection. We don't need that. We never did need any of that when we went from diamond to netherite. It was fine how it was. But I think netherite's really useful in the fact that it does offer fire protection from your valuables. So, yes, I'd be up for it. I think the idea of netherite scrap's totally stupid because we've got a smithing table exactly for that. So just use another ingot, 1 ingot per item or 1 ingot per shulker box, and just, protect your main things. And I don't think it should be for all items like food or golden apples or anything like that, but just your precious things, your tools, your weapons, your armor, and your shulker boxes.
So like elytra too?
No, not elytra. No.
Interesting. So why not elytra? Okay.
Because elytra needs to be valuable. It's already very invaluable with how easy it is to go and get them from the end cities. I think it needs to have retain some valuableness. And I think, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, ender chests. Why do they burn in lava? They shouldn't burn in lava. That's stupid. So yeah, I'm up for that.
Why does obsidian burn in lava?
Well, yeah, quite exactly. What do you think?
I like Foxy's modified version. I don't like Merrick. Sorry. No. Sorry.
Okay, Jessiie, are you on board with the Foxy one, or do you just want to keep netherite the way it is?
I'm torn because I see the value in being able to put it on things like shulker boxes and on I feel like that's too easy. I feel like there's no pain like accidentally breaking a shulker box and then having it fall in lava. Like that pain is horrendous, but it makes you be more careful. I don't think we should have that game be on easy mode. So I think I'm saying no.
If the game worked, I would agree with you, Jessiie. But the fact that at any point something can happen and you just die in lava, or you hit a wall and you explode and all of a sudden everything's magnetized towards the lava. Or like when I hit the ceiling in the ancient city when I was with the warden and everything just vanished, even though it was all made of netherite, Yeah. I agree with you. If the game was perfect and worked perfectly, you could tell people just be a bit more careful. Fair enough. If you're going to go traipsing off through the nether and pillaring out over one wide bridges over the lava lake, expect to fall off and lose your stuff. But when you can just be innocently flying along with your elytra and clip a wall, or maybe just take random damage because you went on some scaffolding earlier, explode and all of your stuff's gone, it would be nice to think, oh, maybe you've taken a ride on a strider and the strider gets stuck in a block and dies. It would be nice to think that your stuff was safe.
Or, like when you break a shulker box and it's like, yes, this time you broke it on this block, it's going to set here. The one right beside it, we're going to put 9 blocks to the left and 4 to the right. Oh, there's lava lake there? Sorry, you were too close.
Yeah.
But I was 15 blocks away. No.
Yeah. So, yeah, we shouldn't need that, but I'm up for it. I don't mind that at all because ancient debris, it's not easy to get in massive quantities. You can get ancient debris in relatively large quantities, but actual thingy ingots, what they're called, netherite ingots, they're not. You can't. It's very difficult to get enough of those even to make a couple of blocks worth. So you would really have had to work hard to get all of your stuff done to protect it. And I think if you've worked hard to do that, then you deserve to have it protected.
That's fair. I can see that argument for sure.
Okay. Well, I don't think it's made it into the good ideas bin, but it's certainly in my personal good ideas bin.
It made it to the fun bin at least.
Yeah. It's still on the table. I haven't thrown it away yet. Maybe when Jessie's not looking, I might slide it in.
Yeah, when she's not looking, kind of like that week that y'all slid stuff in there. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. We never.
Just hand it to me, Foxy. I'll put it in the bad idea bin. Okay.
Okay. Slack. Hang on a minute. Let me just
over here.
paper's right here.
Got it. Thanks. Yeah. Right. JJ1109. I would like dispensers to be able to dispense a whole stack of items into lava at a time. Goodbye,
yes.
rotten flash and arrows.
Yes, please.
How do you get an entire stack of items into a dispenser at once? Hoppers can't do that.
I mean, you can. I go to a thing with my inventory and I say, okay, whole stack of arrows in there. Not that hard. Just because you don't have it
if
automated.
you're going to put a whole stack of arrows in a dispenser to put it in lava personally, why don't you just throw them into lava?
Right. Why don't you just immediately throw them straight into lava?
I don't want to.
I want a machine to do it for me.
Yeah, I'm going to be like all of the other Minecraft content creators. I'm going to be lazy. I want it automated.
Yeah, really efficient way of doing it, Jessie. Yeah.
No, I'm going to throw it out on the ground. Throw it out on the ground and watch it and let stream deal with that. They'd love you for that.
Right?
It would be nice if we had something that could move items around a bit quicker. I would like that.
Foxy.
And if dispensers could... Go on.
I feel it. Super redstone.
Super redstone. Super redstone. Yeah, power your hoppers to make them faster, but there's a chance they'll break. No, I don't want them to break. No. But yeah, I think if we had just an update to hoppers to make them a bit quicker, because yet again, like the inventory update, hoppers were made in a time where there really weren't all that many items to be moving about. And now, you've got a storage system. That thing that I built in under the Chaos Hill, that storage system, it's still emptying out now. It's taken weeks. It's still got about 8 double chests left of stone, cobblestone, coal blocks, grass, dirt, bits of stuff that I've found. If hoppers would just transfer items like a hopper minecart does, why can a hopper minecart suck up items so quickly and then take the rest of its life to put them into the hopper below? It doesn't make sense. Maybe allow that to suck things up a little bit less quickly and then bring hoppers up to match so it's all uniform. And then you can have dispensers chucking out maybe 8 items at a time instead of 1. Slack, thoughts?
Yeah. You convinced me.
Jessie?
Yep, I'm on board.
There we go. Another one. This good idea has been getting quite full. Jeez, if we had all of these things that we put in this good ideas bin in Minecraft would be, it'd almost be like Minecraft 2.
Almost.
Jeez. Mr. Balrog says, seagulls, hear me out. I just want to say Mr. Balrog obviously hasn't been watching Minecraft Lives for a few years because this already existed and we didn't vote for it. But here we go. When more than 32 items within a 6-block radius is just floating around, spawn seagulls that just circulate above it or perches near them. That's all they do. Just a fun in-game way of indicating where you might have splatificated or similar. Spawn maybe 4 to 6 of them, and once the items despawn, so will they in the usual 30 seconds interval. Vultures, wasn't it? We were given the option of those in a biome vote at one point, which would circle around your items after you died. We've now got a compass that you can get that takes you back to where you've died from the ancient city using Slack's favourite items. I really don't see the point. Why seagulls? What if you know when they're the sea?
What if you're in a desert?
Yeah, on top of a mountain.
Yeah.
What a silly idea, Mr. Balrog.
Or in the nether.
Yeah, in the nether. Well, speaking, you wouldn't have vultures in the nether, though, would you? So, they would have only worked in the desert, really, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I'm all up for the recovery compass, guys. That'll do. Although, how many times have you died holding a recovery compass? No one ever.
I know Jade has quite a few times.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah, you get a recovery compass. You're like, yeah, I've got a recovery compass, and you keep it on you, even though you haven't died. It feels like an item you should have in your inventory, so you keep it in your inventory. Then you die, and you go, ah.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, right. Who's next? Jessiie.
Mr. Ballroom. Oh, wait, no. Brood.
That one.
Sorry. Brood says larger doors. Often when making larger scale builds, we often need to use spruce trapdoors with spruce doors to make the impression of a large door. It would be nice to be able to craft some larger ones to give us some better variety. As a builder, I love that idea.
3 blocks tall and 2 blocks wide, or 4 blocks tall and 2 blocks wide. Yeah, I'm well up for that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sold. Yep.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Don't even got to discuss it. Yep.
We're straight in the good idea. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Well done, Mr. Balrog. Brood, actually. I don't know why we're obsessed with Mr. Balrog.
See? I'm not the only one.
Slack.
Merrick, we can combine a fair number of dye to make different dyes. But why no blue and yellow to make green? Mojang, please.
I don't know. Why is green so rare? Why is green so hard to get hold of? I don't get it. Well, they do this with a couple of the dyes, don't they? They just make it impossible to get hold of unless you're actually... Why? Why limiting creativity? No, it isn't. Just... If we've got craftable dyes and we can merge them together, we should be able to merge them together. So, yeah, don't know, Merrick. I'm happy for that to be in the game.
That sounds like just a relatively easy recipe to add in for the next season. I mean, what? Huh?
Yeah. I think we've already got something similar, haven't we? With like wool, like we can undye wool and things or re-dye. Do we still have that? I know we put that in at one point or other.
No, we wanted to put it in.
I'm sure it's in. Pretty sure it is. Yeah, I just don't think anyone
universal
uses it.
dyeing's in. Yeah. I use it.
Yeah. So I'll be happy with that.
Wait.
We've got universal dyeing on TV. Yes.
Are you kidding me? I could have been doing that the whole. I am upset.
Yeah, that's why when I go terracotta mining, I just mine everything. And some people are like, I only want the base terracotta. I'm like, wow, we got universal dyeing. Just get it all.
Yeah.
Wow. I am mind blown. Wow. How did I not know?
It's been like that for, I think, the past 3 seasons now.
We were going to put cheaper stairs and trapdoors in as well. But I think that was voted against.
I remember at the beginning of this season, we wanted it, and it wasn't in yet.
No, that was last season.
Was it last season?
Season 3, yeah.
That it took a while.
Yeah, we got it. It's about halfway through season 3, and it's been in since.
Yeah.
I'm checking right now. If I'm really that stupid, I'm gonna be so mad.
You have to watch if you're shift clicking, because, like, say you're dyeing black wool. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you'll go to dye the wool, and it'll pull up the black wool to re-dye the black wool.
Yeah.
So some of them you have to manually do, but yeah, universal dyeing, that's the thing.
I'm so upset right now. I have been making my life so difficult this entire season.
This is why she doesn't want to play Minecraft now.
Are you kidding me? No, see, I remembered it being in there. Yeah, it's right there. Frick, man. I remember it being in last season and being like, why don't we have it this season?
We do.
Wow. I'm fired. I am fired.
You are. Right, me as John must have heard us talking to Mr. Balrog earlier, because he says, having dealt with some hopper speed issues lately, it would be helpful to have faster hopper system. Found this one on the feedback site. Thought the idea was interesting. Do you ever think, like, you've seen something and glanced through it, but you don't remember it, and then you have that idea yourself? I think that's what I've done there. Sorry, Mia's John. You've obviously implanted that seed into my brain, and I've stolen it. A few pieces of feedback ahead. But then, that feedback request actually says copper hoppers. A hopper upgraded from a normal one with copper that moves items faster than a normal one. I'm well up for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally sold for that. That gives copper a use. Yeah.
Yeah. Into it. Let's do it. I'll have 2, please.
Supersize that with the next one, and we can have all 3. Just the next one that faded.
So the next one is from Faded Daddy. Oh, Faded Daddy-O. Faded Daddy Zero?
Faded Daddy-O.
Don't know. Yeah. Wish list third-party shader support for Render Dragon. Yeah. Just full stop, yeah.
Yep. Job done. So the only one we've got left then, guys, to make it, 4 in a row is DJ Chris.
DJ Chris, 2019 is back, peeps. What if Minecraft animals had more breeds for wolves, pigs, cows, etc.?
No, thank you.
Ooh.
No. Yeah, do you know what? I wouldn't mind like a woolly cow in mountainous biomes, but we've got the goats, so we don't need them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind a wild boar in the dark forest, but we don't need them.
Well, what if they looked a certain way depending on what biome they spawned in?
Well, that's what I just said.
If a pig was spotted kind of thing, like because they have like the spotted pig type thing, is that what you mean? Or it's like just a skin?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Skin, or even the size of them as well, because you can get like those little pigs, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Like different breeds of dog, I guess, for the different types of wolves.
Different colored chickens, brown chicken, yellow chicken.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I feel
mind
like that
it.
you can just do with a texture pack.
You could quite easily, I guess. How would it? And you could probably, I think you could do.
You can do it with rename texture packs, because Fawn's made a few out there where when you rename something, it'll change. Like you can have a cow that'll change from one thing to another. From one skin to another skin. I don't know if the varying blocks. I don't know if you could vary in blocks animals like you can with.
No, you couldn't. But what you could do relatively easy with an add-on would make give those particular things a variant, and then when those variants bred together, they would create that variant of baby. So you could do that relatively easily. So it's not massively difficult to do, but I don't know if we need it. I quite like the iconicness of the Minecraft mobs. I don't know if they need different textures and models.
Shaders.
Hmm?
You don't need fancy shaders.
No, shaders is different. You don't. They still look the same, don't they? It's not like you're putting on a texture pack.
I know, but it's just where you're going to have people that are always going to be different on what they think.
Yeah. I'm not against it, DJ Chris, but I'm not
or
excited enough to put it in the development.
Yeah, I'm not sold on it, DJ. Sorry.
But yeah, if they put it in Minecraft, I wouldn't complain at all. But in terms of making an add-on, I couldn't be bothered at all. Okay.
The selling add-on you ever made.
It probably would. Right, okay, that's the end of the wish list, which takes us into the questions. And as usual, we like to take a 2-minute break to fill up our coffees and our waters and make Jessiie do singing. Because apparently, you need a rest from my grating voice. So, I'll be back in 2 secs, guys. Give me a moment, please.
No song?
Oh,
Hold on. I've got the lovely bunch of coconuts.
Dilly dilly, there they are, standing in a row.
Boom, boom, boom.
Big one, small one,
some as big as your head.
I have Why Don't You Do Right stuck in my head, but I'm not going to sing that. That's like...
You have what stuck in your head?
Why Don't You Do Right? Do you not know that song?
No.
You had plenty money, 1922. It's like from Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I know. It was just easy to get you to sing it.
Oh, dang it!
I'm back.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
How did it go? How's today's dance break?
Slack tricked me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Should I wait to find out tomorrow?
No, I mean,
It was good.
I was
really
like,
good.
we're not in a singy mood. And then I was like, yeah, the only song I have stuck in my head is Why Don't You Do Right? And he was like, I don't, what is that? And that was all I needed. And I started singing. And then I was like, can't believe you don't know that song. He's like, yeah, I know that song. I was like, rude.
Wow.
I've seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit like 100 times as a kid.
It's
How would I not?
good. It's so good. I love it.
Good. Okay. And we love questions. So if you want to ask us a question, send them to news@theminecraftupdate.com. Put question in your subject line so we know what it is. Fill out the feedback form. Go on the Discord. You get the idea by now, surely. Right. Starting with...
I think you're practicing your fast video talking, to get a lot out there quickly.
6 hours.
I know, right? I'm catching on.
I've got to do it fast, Slack. Right.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Stringy Straw says, I have a question loosely related to that certain silky-voiced fellow we all love. Oh, here we go. He's part of a Java SMP where they have heavily themed bases. To support this, they have a system where they can apply custom textures to individual items and entities so their weapons, equipment, villagers and mounts fit together with their theme, and it shows properly for everyone. 1. Would this be doable for Bedrock servers? 2. Would you personally be interested in doing something similar in a future season of TB? It would be vastly more complicated to do that on Bedrock Edition than it is on Java Edition, because it's very difficult to... I think you'd have to probably rename all of your items, equipment and villagers to do it, because I don't think the game's clever enough to know who everything belongs to. So, yes and no. Kind of a bit like player heads, where there's a bit of manual stuff involved. And doing it in something similar in the future of TB, well, I'd love to do something where we could have unique like armors or textures or things per player and have some unique stuff put in. But I don't want to be a part of the everybody's copying everybody else bandwagon. So yeah, something maybe. What do you guys think?
I really dislike the whole, oh, you're just copying such and such, or oh, you're just copying this kind of mentality. It bothers me. And while I don't think very much is original anymore, like no idea is like very original at this point, that does seem like something where I'd straight up just be copying other people. And I don't like that. So I don't know. It may be down the line something similar, but it doesn't really interest me copying.
I think it would only be copying if we were going, oh, well, we're having these different like factions and our factions are going to be different. But if you were just going, oh, well, I want my Elytra to look like this. I want my chest plate to have these spikes sticking out the side and have this pattern on the front. And I want my sword to look like a duck. I don't see that would be a copy. And I just think that's going, hey, they've had these two servers, because Hermitcraft doing something similar, aren't they? They've had these cool ideas what you can do with the game to make things more interesting for the individual and the viewers as well. So I don't see the harm in looking at a good idea and seeing what you can do with that good idea. I just think if we go, oh, well, they've done that, so we're going to do exactly the same thing, then that's a problem. What do you think, Slack?
I don't like it at all. It puts me off of it completely.
So if you could have a Thanos hand on your character...
Nope, I don't need it. No, I don't want it in game. No, if I can't do it with a skin or I can't do it with a texture pack, no, I just don't like it. I used to use heavily modified texture packs before TB, and early on in my channel, I asked a lot of people what they thought, and almost everybody wanted vanilla, and that's kind of what I went with and what I've stuck with. And like this season of Hermitcraft, where they've got all that extra stuff, I loaded up an Exuma video the other day, and immediately it comes in, and he does the intro, looking at the camera, and I'm just like, what's that on your head?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, is that even Minecraft?
And he's eating bone meal, and his axe looks like a skull. Yeah, I think that it goes too far there. I agree with you.
It's too far for me.
I do like the vanilla look of Minecraft, which is why we use the vanilla texture pack. Obviously, I've changed.
I can't relate to his gameplay with all that. I can't relate to it. And no, maybe I'm just part of a small minority there, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And I wouldn't I wouldn't be interested in us doing that in any of our. No.
So yeah, I wouldn't mind like dyeable armor or like just being able to put a your own logo on it or pattern on it or something like that. I think that would be fun, and being able to open up like a little clothes shop and sell stuff like that. I think that would be fun.
Now, see, like dyeable leather armor, I could get behind, but once you start getting into the diamond, gold, and netherite, I wouldn't agree with that.
Why?
It's like we talked about that season about the terracotta wrench. Like, I'm fine with redying of wools and even the redying of glass. I'm kind of against the redying of glass, but like wools and terracotta, yeah, okay, so you could redye that. You could, I'm fine with that. But like the terracotta wrench that we were talking about that one time that I know some other servers, no, I don't
so
like
you can
it.
spin it round so you can get it facing the right direction.
Yeah, well, part of the challenge of terracotta is to place it that way, if you're using glazed terracotta. And
But
the
it's
wrench
not a
just
fun
feels...
challenge. It doesn't add anything to the game. It doesn't make you more creative. It's just wastes your time. It's just irritating.
I know, but it's going to come down to a matter of opinion, if I'm going to play modded, I want to play modded. That's how I feel about it. And the tweaks, it's a fine line. It's a fine line. I mean, we of all people know that every time we discuss what we want to add in. Like, what was it last season? We had the compass that tells you the biome, and what if you want this or what if you want that? It's just, even with this group alone, trying to agree on stuff is sometimes a nightmare.
Yeah, I can. If it was like you've got to use this, then I can understand there's an argument against it. But if majority of the time you're making videos in your way, doing your stuff, you don't have to use any of those things. You can just play the game however you want to play it. So if you didn't want to dye your diamond armor, or if you didn't want to make your pickaxe look like a duck, you wouldn't have to, if you know what I mean. So when it's a choice like that, considering you can go to the marketplace now and turn up looking like anything you want to with all of the crazy stuff they've got in there that overrides your armor on a lot of occasion, I don't mind stuff like that really anymore.
I mean, if you want to rework your texture pack where on the back of your lighter on your shield it has the Foxy logo, go for it,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm weird on that one.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I have my
weird
netherite to diamond texture pack, which makes netherite look like dark diamond because I hate the look of the netherite stuff, and I always get loads of...
I used to use that forever, and then it just felt like I wasn't experiencing netherite. It felt like to me I was still diamond, even though I could see it and everything like that. And then every video, why don't you have netherite?
Really? When are you going to upgrade to netherite? I'm like, well, I am. But it sparks conversation, doesn't it? It makes life interesting.
It does. Yeah, see, that one I'm not bad with. That's a minor one, because I agree with you on that concept. It shouldn't re-dye the whole armor, because you're just using an ingot. It should smudge it.
Yeah.
It should just change it a little bit. It should still look like diamond underneath.
Yeah, and your helmet shouldn't change shape.
No, but I think I actually got that modified in my pack where it doesn't. Yeah, I can't stand that.
No, I don't like it. Take it out of the game.
Rubbish. Banned.
Okay. Right. Next question, Jessie.
Bullbuster says, in extension of feedback, hello team. If you were given the daunting task as MC developer of achieving parity in Redstone between Java and Bedrock, how would you tackle it? Would you go with Java or Bedrocks as the base? And what would you keep or discard? For example, quasi-connectivity, movable entities, etc.
I know the answer to this one, but you guys go first.
I don't Redstone, so I'm pretty useless for this one because I don't know the differences. But yeah, so this one is not for me. So Slack?
I just want reliable order.
Yeah. So this is the perfect Redstone, in my personal opinion. Feel free to disagree. You are welcome to. I won't agree with you. We have Bedrock's Redstone that works. So, observers work. They see things when things happen. And generally speaking, hoppers work in the way that they're intended to work. Okay? So basically Bedrock's Redstone without the bugs in it. Quasi-connectivity gets thrown in the bin because it's the most stupid thing in the world. We keep movable tile entities, and that's all we need.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Can we at least get Redstone firing every game tick instead of every other game tick?
You can do that now. What doesn't do that?
but like you can set up a clock. That's why there's big parity differences between the two versions on Redstone. Only updates, I think it's on Bedrock on every even tick. It doesn't update on the others.
Yeah, but what doesn't work because of that? Apart from sticky, spitty outy pistons.
Aside from that, I would agree. I would find Bedrock's Redstone more.
It makes more sense.
Yeah, more sense. More.
Redstone points into items properly. You know.
Yeah, I want a consistency though. If I'm setting up the pistons with the redstone and I push this, I want, the same piston to always extend every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want spitty outy blocks. If you want a block to be spat out, you just get another piston that takes the block while it's extended from the other one and moves it out the way so the other one can't pull it back.
Well, isn't that what honey kind of does? Yeah.
Yeah, and that sort of thing. So, no, yeah, I'd get rid of all that stuff that doesn't make sense. Keep it nice and simple, the way it's intended to be, but just make sure, take all the bugs out.
Oh, can we up this and anger some more people and take out TNT duping?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, that wouldn't be there because it's not Java's Redstone, so yeah, no TNT duping.
Yep, I'm sold now. Yep, sold now.
There we go. Job done. Right, Slack, Lucas.
Hello, podcast crew. Who is this Jeff guy you keep talking about? Foxy?
Well, I thought you knew him better than I did these days.
I haven't talked to Jeff in a long time. I yell at Jeff. But you too. You're always complaining about Jeff. Every time.
Jessie, who's Jeff?
Some guy you guys have made up to complain.
Yeah. Jeff is our Mojang developer shield. He is who we complain at and moan about when bugs get put in the game instead of moaning at the developers, because generally speaking, it's not the developers' fault and they work hard and, things happen. Everybody's human. But the bugs do get on your nerves and they do irritate you. So we created a person who works at Minecraft, and he is the owner of Mojang's son. No, or was it nephew Microsoft. Or something?
Something, yeah. Somebody that doesn't even deal with Minecraft, yeah.
Yeah, and when they've finished all the code and they've got it all perfect, they pass it through to Jeff, who's supposed to release it, and he always ends up fiddling with things because he thinks he can do better and breaks it all. So that's who Jeff is.
When there's a bug, it's Jeff's fault because
exactly.
They intended for the update to arrive perfect. They got it perfect. The developers did everything perfect, but Jeff was just responsible for typing it in and clicking send. The email's already typed, but he spilled his drink and had to re-guess what some of the code was, and
yeah, it was copy and pasting and missed a bit, and the seagull came down and stole his homework. There's all the excuses.
80% code. Yep.
Yeah. Samson S says, hello, Diodlio peeps. As you are no doubt aware, because we listeners tend to think of content creators as people we actually know, we often write to you as if you know us too. How difficult is it for you to look past our initial over-familiarity and not be offended or irritate when we rock up for the first time and poke fun just like we're all buddies? Because you all present as very genuine and open, you must have had to learn quickly where to draw the line on your openness. Have there been times you've shared and then regretted it? FYI, your style of presentation really sets the podcast apart and keeps us coming back. Love the stuff. Samson. It's not often somebody will come on and overstep the mark. Sometimes people will come along and use a similar sense of humour to what we use with each other on the podcast or in the videos or on live streams, and they don't quite get it right, or because we don't know them, it comes across as either angry or offensive because it doesn't read like a joke or sound like a joke.
Or because I let one person talk to me like that doesn't mean I let another person talk to me like that. I let one person joke with me that way. Doesn't mean that even though you've heard it in a video 50 times, it doesn't mean that you get that right. If that makes sense. Yeah.
But generally speaking, for me personally, I find it very difficult to get actually offended by things or upset by things. Sometimes the littlest thing can trigger you. But most of the time, I got a pretty thick skin.
For me, I have found this actually to be something pretty difficult. I am an open book. I overshare in my streams, probably far more than I should. but I don't find that I typically regret the oversharing, or I don't feel like I made a mistake by oversharing, besides the one time I doxed myself. That was dumb. Other than that, though, I do, however, struggle with people. How do I word that? Like, poking fun at me, because on the server, pretty much people pick on me, and it's something that I don't take personally, because that's just kind of like the role, and it's a server thing, and it's not a personal thing at all. It's just, it's easy to poke fun at me because I have like big reactions, and it's just a fun thing, and we know each other, so I don't take it personally. But when people are used to seeing that in other people's streams, and then they come into my stream and they try to do the same type of humor, because like my mods also make fun of me or stuff like that, like I have had to take a step back and be like, they don't mean it. They're not being mean to me. Like it's okay. But I have had many times where I've almost cried because I'm like, wow, everybody's being really mean to me today, and I don't know how to handle it. So yeah, that has been interesting to try to navigate, being like, I know that people aren't trying to be mean, but sometimes I take it personal. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's easy to do, especially when you don't know the intonation of what's being said. I would imagine from the other way round, it's kind of like seeing a group of friends in a bar or somewhere playing pool maybe, and you're on the outside looking in, and you go over and you slap one of them on the back and say, oh, I can't say it because it's family friendly, but you go over and say something because you heard one of the other ones calling it, and that person then turns around and punches you in the face.
Yeah.
You think, why you do that?
Yeah, well,
I don't know you.
Yeah.
You just called me this name.
Exactly. It's like us, me and Foxy have had the running gimmick forever that he always gets my name wrong, Slap or whatever. He always got my name wrong.
I don't do that. I genuinely don't do that on purpose.
I know, but it's also become a running gimmick at the same time.
Yeah.
But when somebody else comes in and they start doing it, you haven't earned that right. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
well,
I think that sounds a bit harsh. I think it just like you're not that close with the people because you're not friends with them effectively.
Well, it's like if somebody, like if we were all sitting out having dinner, okay, I'm just using the randomness here, and somebody walked up and we were all sitting there and they went, hey, Jenny, instead of hey, Jessiie, I'd be offended and I'd get mad, See, I wouldn't. I'd laugh because I'd be thinking they've obviously listened to the podcast. Okay, well, here's another example of what... Okay, so I don't think I've ever overshared that makes me mad, but here's a prime example, Foxy. When TB first started, I was a big FoxyNoTail fan. I couldn't believe I was playing on the server as him. And he in his Java series was doing this thing where there was a mad fisher. And I really wanted to prank him on TB doing the same thing. It wasn't the place. It wasn't the server. It wasn't the gimmick. You know what I mean? It's like somebody coming up to you doing Geraldine stuff. Yeah. Like you go log on to your own whatever server, another server. You're like, say you went to log on to the hardcore server with Mitts and she's got a witch there named Geraldine. It's just... See, it made me laugh because I think, they've seen those videos and stuff like that. So going back to that Mad Fisher, when that first started happening, that was a response to something we were doing in TB, and the people that I was playing on with my patrons that I was playing with on the Java server trying to do something similar. But because they hadn't had the experience or the time to get to know me and them like we had, I found that harder to deal with than when it happens on TB. So if you came along and went, I'm going to do that because they did it, it wouldn't bother me in the slightest. Or if Mitts did something in the hardcore series. Because I even asked you, because I was going to tell you, because I wanted to, but I wasn't going to do it without your permission. Yeah. I don't know. It's a real funny one. I think each example is you'll have a unique reaction to it. It's easy for me to sit here and just blanket say, I think it'd be funny. But until you're actually presented with that situation and who it is and the way it's done and the intonation and you don't know, do you? So there's a lot of variables.
Yeah. So, I mean, the question was, you know, how have you learned to cope with it? I think just time. Time's just one of those things, isn't it?
Well, it's like here's one that probably we can all relate to a little bit better. Somebody comes up to you, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you. You're such. I just make Minecraft videos.
Yeah.
I'm a gamer just like you.
Yeah.
Except I spend a lot of time editing. I am no different than you. Oh, but you're a big YouTuber. No, I am a gamer just like you. That's it.
Yeah.
The only difference is I pace my gameplay to the point I drag it out over a year instead of doing it all in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's weird when you get that. I still feel really uncomfortable when you get that reaction from people. It's lovely. It's really lovely, but it is really a weird thing. But then I still feel like the same thing when, you know, people that I really look to will maybe send me a Discord message and ask me a question. And I'm like, or they'll raid me and I'll go, oh, it's them. Like, I don't want to message them back in case I'm like, oh, I don't want to overstep my mark because we're not friends. I just know you from the internet, you know. So it's a bit of a weird one. Very strange. I think we've butchered this to death, unless Jessiie.
I think it's an interesting topic, though. I don't think we butchered it. I think we just covered a lot of interesting things with it. As far as oversharing, no, I don't think I've ever regretted oversharing anything. But sometimes some people do think they're your buddy, and that's just, I guess, in relation to watching just lots and lots of content, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say about the oversharing part personally, the kind of content that I put out, the kind of streams that I do, it's geared towards that familiarity. It's geared towards being open and being friends. So absolutely, there's no part of me that is like, oh no, you're too familiar with me. Like that was the point. But I do know that not all people are that kind of creator or do feel that way. So it is very different from creator to creator for sure.
Yep. You nailed it right there.
I want to add more to this, actually.
Okay.
Last week-ish, whenever we finished the last podcast, you guys and me had a talk about something that I really struggle to understand and get on board with that you just do naturally. And that is, and if you don't mind me saying so on the podcast, that Slack and Jessiie are very, very open to the communities. They'll go into Discord, they'll be in voice chat with the patrons or, you know, just the channel members, and they'll chill out and they'll talk and they'll get to know each other. And if you want to be a part of their communities and join the Discords and do that, that's absolutely fantastic. And that's when you start to build that rapport with that creator and they understand who you are and what, you know, where you're coming from. And that's when the jokes start to make sense and they start to fit in. So then when you turn up on the live stream, they're like, oh, I know you because we were in voice the other day. And you can say that to me because I get where you're coming from. If you don't attempt to make that progress to meet those people and get there with them, it's very difficult to then bridge that gap. And I'm the worst person in the world for that. I'm very closed off in a lot of ways to my community, to my own detriment, and I hate it. But I find it very uncomfortable to go into a voice chat with people I don't know because I'm just so socially awkward. And it's not because I think the people in my community are lower than me and I'm, you know, big special FoxyNoTail and they make YouTube videos. It's because I'm terrified to talk to them because they're real people as well. And, you know, I'm thinking, what would they think of me if they get to know the real me? So we had a long chat about it, and Jessiie and Slack were telling me how wonderful it is and how I should be doing it more. And I was making excuses like, I can't fit it into my schedule. I've got too much stuff to do. But I'm just sitting there terrified of the thought of it. But it is something that I want to do, something that I would like to do and get to do more. So I'm gonna say now on the podcast that I am going to make every effort over this week when I've got free time or I'm working on marketplace stuff and I'm just either building or coding. I'm going to go into my Discord, I'm going to go in my VIP chat, and I'm just going to be there. If anyone else turns up and wants to talk to me and get to know me, then great. If not, I will probably think, well, I've made this bed, so I'll lie in it. You know?
Yeah.
Does that help with this question, or have I just gone off on a tangent?
Yeah, no,
it absolutely relates. Yeah.
But I can tell you right now with certain people in my community that they, it's like a few of them know my real name, and I have no problem if they call me by my real name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My real name's John Ollie Jackson.
Knew it.
I knew it. That's what I thought.
I finally admitted it to everybody in stream the other day. They was asking me what my name was, and I said it's John Ollie Jackson. That's it now.
No, I don't. Yeah. Oversharing, familiarity, friendships. I can honestly say I know more about the people in my Discord that hang out with me than I know about 10 people in real life.
Yeah.
Real life.
And even
I'm talking
TB
real
members.
life.
I was just going to say, I know more about a lot of people in my community than I know about the TB members.
Yep,
I
I know
mean-
their financial situations, if they're having marital problems, if they're changing jobs. Yep, because
Yeah. And I am truly jealous of those relationships you have, but I'm so terrified to make them. So I'm going to try really hard. Anyway, now we've pushed this question way
the
too
last
far.
thing I'm going to add about that.
Go on.
No. Last thing I'm going to add about that. The beauty of those relationships online with the people that are doing it is if you have a day where you don't want to deal with them, guess what? You don't have to join the Discord. You don't have to join the call.
Wow.
No, and I've told them this too, and they'll all agree to it. They
Yeah,
have
I
days
know,
like that. You think they don't have days like that?
Yeah.
You have that bad day, and you're just like, I don't want to talk to nobody today. I just want to mind my
That's
business. I
every
want to
day
sulk
for
in my
me.
corner and watch Netflix.
You're describing literally 365 days out of the year, Slack.
Somebody get this man a Xanax down.
Right?
Jeez. Okay, quick, Jessie, come on.
Hello,
Xenon.
Foxy. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Xenon. Forgot that part. Hello, Foxy, Jessie, and Slack. Do you think that Mojang and Microsoft will ever add things like spectral arrows, sweeping edge, crawling, etc. to Bedrock
Dodge
Edition?
rolls.
And dodge roll to Bedrock.
What do
I
you
would have
think,
said
Jessie?
yes until you said Dodro.
What do you think, Jess?
No. I don't think so. I don't even know why I don't think so. I don't.
Spectre Arrow, maybe. Crawling kind of already is in the game. Sweeping Edge, not till we get a combat update.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Jessie that those are the sorts of things that have been lingering for so long
Mm-hmm.
that there must be a reason why they haven't. Now, that's either because they've got plans in the future for some sort of combat update which covers all those things, or they think that's not real Minecraft, that's just stuff we added to Java Edition, which we wish we hadn't, so we're not going to bring it to Bedrock, or it's just too difficult to do for the game engine. But I can't imagine why any of those things are. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to think they would, but my gut says that they've got something else in mind, but we might not see it for a long time.
Mm. All right. What are your thoughts about being able to tie villagers without a job to a rope? Excuse me?
Oh, jeez. Okay. Jeez. One of the reasons they won't add into the game, like, luring villagers with emeralds is because it has connotations of things like slavery.
Yeah.
Tying villagers up that don't have a job. I really think that oversteps the mark in so many ways. Why would you need to tie them up? What?
When there's a perfectly good bucket of lava.
Yeah, just move them out, put them in a boat. Put them in a boat, and then they think they're on a nice adventure. They don't feel like they're strapped in. It's their choice to get in that boat at the end of the day. You didn't put that boat on them. It's fine. Oh, jeez. No, I think
It's like
it's
the
a real
guys we
bad
took
idea,
to the
Rory.
overseas work program, remember? Yeah.
Jeez. Moving on. Hakuzo says, my question today is as follows. Would any of you three be willing to do a VTuber of your Minecraft avatars? What's a VTuber?
It's a art version of you or your character. So as Loy does it, I think Lee has done it at some point.
DB was doing it.
DB was doing it. Like you can do either like a completely animated one or like just pictures, and it like its mouth moves when you are doing it. So instead of cam, you would just have like this little character on your streams.
Oh, kind of like Puka's 3D animated
Yes,
thing of him.
yes, that's a good way to look at it, yeah.
And second, would you three do a podcast with them? It sounds like a lot of work and effort I'd rather just put my camera on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was like, now that I've done, I'm like, no.
I think that could be fun. I haven't got anything against that. I just don't see it really adding anything or, doing anything for us that turning the cameras on wouldn't do.
Yeah, I'll just give you a picture, Toretto.
Yeah. I was thinking a while back when I was doing, during my streams and I was doing the different things, and there was the one where it made me look like a girl, and there was one made me look like a pickle and all that sort of stuff. I found that they actually offered free software through, I don't think it was free, but it was through the Adobe Creative Suite, which I pay for, where you can make those. And I downloaded it and I thought, I'm going to make one that's FoxyNoTail's head. So, and like one for Big Chicken and one for Mr. Onion, so that when I was, doing their voices, I could look like them. But it was so complicated and difficult to do. I ended up not bothering. So, yeah, I imagine trying to do it, even with just a drawing or a sketch or a logo, is not going to be the easiest thing in the world to do unless there's already like some quick and dirty plugin for OBS that you can just throw on, which I'm sure there probably is.
There is, because you can literally just take like a fan art. Like I've got one of me just standing holding the shame bell, and you can plug that in, and when you talk, Discord, it's just an overlay. It'll light up that picture, and then when you're not talking, it darkens out the whole picture.
Right.
Zoe uses it all the time. Yep.
Yeah, I've seen them where they like make them grow a little bit, like the scale changes as they talk.
Yeah,
I've seen that. I was more thinking of like its mouth moving or something like that, so it looked like they were talking.
Well, there's multiple scales of it. I guess there's, there's different scales of a Minecrafter. There's the kid that plays in creative, and then there's person who does Redstone Farms.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Interesting, but probably not. But it's not a bad idea. Who is it now? Oh, it's Jessiie, isn't it?
Yeah. So who was here first? Says, do you guys know when Minecraft Live is? Because I have heard October 15th and 16th, and I can't figure out when it really is. Thanks. Love your show. We actually just went over that earlier on. It is the 15th.
It's probably time zone confusion, because if it's Jessiie said it was at noon, but I don't know noon where.
Oh, yeah. So Russia and Australia, it will obviously be the next day. It'll be the 16th. That's a good point. Didn't even think of that.
So, what is it, noon PST? They normally announce in PST, don't they?
It's EST, I think.
Oh, it's EST. I think
it's Eastern Standard.
Right, okay. So it'll probably be about 6 p.m.-ish my time then, something like that. I have no idea. But yeah, it should be on October the 15th, unless you don't live in anywhere that it's not. Okay, good. I'm glad we cleared that up. Slack, you got the last question.
Last question's from Tyler B. I was wondering how the three of you feel about Microsoft charging you to change your username. It's been like that forever. I mean, it was part of Xbox Live. That's technically where your username comes from. The first one was free. I think it still is. And then after that, you got to pay for it. I have no problem with that.
Jessiie?
I have a weird, I don't like the idea that they make you pay for anything. Ever. So, I don't know.
Right, so everything in the world should be free.
Yeah, everything.
But what about
forever.
Minecraft usernames? I think charging you for it's very much like when people complain to me about the fact that I don't have a free server they can play on. I think Microsoft are just as wise as I am in this respect, that if you charge something for someone for something, they're not going to abuse it. And now they could just say you can only change it once every 6 months, but then let's say you change it after 3 months, and then you decide you wanted to change it again because you're setting up a new YouTube channel or you're doing something and it just doesn't suit anymore. The ability or the freedom to do that, yes, by having to pay for it, means that you can if you need to. But the whole reason for it is to stop people just changing their usernames willy-nilly, evading bans from systems, evading, coming into someone's realm as a different person, confusing the friends lists. It's basically the idea is you pick a username. If you want a new one, set up a new account. Because people they're tied to there's the whole reason all of the achievements and stuff and the statistics exist is to make people's accounts feel valuable to them, so they don't just have a million of them or change the username every 5 minutes, so that they can, generally speaking, I think most people would want to do that to cause problems if it was free and easy to do, than they would genuinely needing to change it for whatever reason. So it is frustrating in a lot of circumstances. I've wished in the past, I wish I could just change it to this, or I wish I could put an underscore there, or take an underscore out, or remove this or add that. But it's just one of those things. I think
it's like our names are like grandfathered names now. You can't even make a name now that doesn't have 4 numbers on the end of it.
Really?
Yep. Nope. You got to make a new account now. It's got to have 4 numbers on the end of it.
Wow. Jeez. So, yeah.
And then on top of that, that's kind of like, what was it? Forever there, you had to pay for Xbox Live to play Minecraft.
Only on consoles.
Yeah. Well, they changed that now that you don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
it's a free-to-play game.
They're getting way more from Game Pass, which obviously allows you to play Minecraft for free anyway, as a subscription than Xbox Live ever did for them. So I see Xbox Live probably just disappearing. If it's not already disappeared instead of Game Pass. I know there's different tiers of Game Pass, isn't there? There's Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate. I think there was one for PC and one for console. I think they might be combined now as well. I can't remember, but yeah. Xbox, I think they've got a good system. I like that subscription system. I think it works well because they've got a lot of good stuff with it. Anyway, that was a bit off track, wasn't it?
As a matter of fact, on April 3rd, there was an article released that Microsoft is considering discontinuing Xbox Live and instead offering it exclusively with Game Pass.
Well, there you go. There you go. Well, unfortunately, peeps, that brings us to the end of today's questions. And like I said, if you want to ask us a question in next week's podcast, then you can by emailing us at news@theminecraftupdate.com. Put question in your subject line so we know it's a question, and, or, no, one of the words that I just said, you can use the feedback form, which you can find on our website, which is theminecraftupdate.com, or join our Discord. The link is in the description below. All that's left to say is what we're going to be doing this week, and that starts with Jessie, who can't be bothered to do anything at all.
She didn't talk to us. Wow.
You said you've had enough of Minecraft. You didn't want to edit the podcast.
Like, how did we get... Jessie's just lazy. She doesn't want to do anything.
She can't be bothered. She couldn't even bother to make Jane at Disneyland because it was too
long. Wow. Well, I guess besides being lazy, I'm just going to stream 4 days a week this upcoming week and probably every week from here on out.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you,
Honoriness. Just pure honoriness. Right now, focusing on videos. Monday, Fridays on the main channel, streams on YouTube on Wednesday, and then second channels Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and I don't know when the Twitch streams are going to fit in there, if ever. I don't know. It's all up in the air.
Fair enough. Well, for me, I will be streaming on YouTube on Monday mornings and Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. UK time, and then on Twitch on Wednesday evenings and Thursday evenings from 7:30 p.m. UK time. I will be releasing Minecraft videos, one a week unless there's more, on Saturdays at 6 p.m. UK time, and that's probably about it, unless I'm feeling really good at 8 p.m. on a Sunday and I'm not tired, and I might do another Twitch stream then, but it's highly unlikely.
Oh, dang.
So, all that's left to say is the same thing that I say at the end of every single podcast, and that is, if your name is John Ollie Jackson, then I'm sorry, but it's mine now.
I nailed it.
But I'm not changing my name though.
Well, we'll have to both be John Ollie Jackson. Sorry, Slack. Jeez.
Okay, well, it sounds like a plan.
Right, on that note.
Bye, people. Bye.
Yeah, I'm off. Bye. Thanks for coming. Calling me horrible.
Go drink some honey to deal with that raspy voice.
Oh, my goodness. Bye, guys.